I'd like to announce that prior to this meeting, we had an executive session to discuss personnel issues. And Dr. Prietel.
The administration would like to make an adjustment to the personnel agenda under item H, the final section, which is absence without pay, non-instructional. We would like to remove that, all items 1 through 4. It's that last section under section H, which is leave requests. It's the section on absence without pay, non-instructional. We need a motion in a second.
Okay, could we have a motion to remove those items? Is there a second? Okay, discussion. Hearing none, those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So moved.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda is the AAHS Auditorium Projector presentation by Ben.
Good evening. I'm here to just talk about the equipment that we're hoping to purchase for the auditorium. We're looking at a projector setup, which is going to allow us to use projections anywhere on the stage and to use them while the stage is in use. So while people are on it and while stage lights are on. I have some pictures that I put together to just kind of show you some of the capabilities that this kind of equipment gives. Essentially, it creates a backdrop that we can use for, our stage productions, but music events and other things that we put on the stage. And it allows for us to have, scenery that is digitally projected. Projections are nothing new in theater, but the traditional way of doing it on canvas and with paint is you have two ways to do it. You either invest in doing it yourself, which is a lot of time and almost probably as much money as it would be to rent, which is usually about $500 for a week just for one. And you usually need multiple backdrops for a show. These projections would allow us to basically have as many as you can fit on your computer hard drive, and you can switch between them much easier than the traditional way. The other thing that the digital projection allows you to do is going a step further from just creating a backdrop. You can also do programming and do what's called projection mapping, and you can actually have projections hit different objects on stage, like the scenery. And it's how special effects and things are being done on stage, in the actual industry, on Broadway, in professional productions. Which this would allow us to teach our kids how to do that programming. We could involve, obviously, our visual arts students as well in creating these digital images and digital animations that can then be used in different shows and with an audience there to give them an authentic way to create a product. Some of the other things that you can use these for are places that this technology is being used. I just have this picture of Disney World just because I love Disney, but also that's how they're doing a lot of the shows and things that are put on in the live entertainment industry. They project onto objects, or in this case, Cinderella's castle, and they create really amazing effects. Other populations that would be affected by this purchase would, as I said, include our stagecraft and set design classes, our entire fine arts department, for our music concerts, for obviously our shows, we can use this. And then, of course, the greater community that come in and are frequently using our auditorium will have this setup available and be able to use for their own events. On the back of the handout that you've been given, or on the second page, I think, are some future projects that we are looking at that could immediately start using this. We have our Genius Hour initiative at the high school. We have a lot of students that are coming up with plays and a plan to actually put on their own shows, and we can use these these backdrops and things to make that a little bit easier for them, so they don't have to invest in scenery and, building and creating all these sets. They can use the projections to be able to make that a little bit more seamless. We also have been approached by the community theater to look into the Penguin Project, which is a program similar to like the Sparkle program for the cheerleaders, where we have special ed students that are given roles in a show that we are putting together, and they're partnered with a peer that help them to maneuver the stage and to perform their roles. The projections would allow us to eliminate some of those obstructions that we sometimes have to build on the stage so that they can get around a little bit easier and make it a little bit more accessible. So these are just some of the ideas that we have, from the get-go to be able to use this technology.
Now,
So there's software that the students would learn that I would become proficient in. I'm teaching the stagecraft class and the set design class, so we would work with those students to help them learn how to work it, and then they would actually run it during our shows, our school shows. It can go into any surface. It's a traditional projector, but the difference is it's very high lumens so that it can cut through the stage light. So yeah, you could project onto the psych or onto really any surface. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure that I can speak to that.
Well, once I believe the projectors are available to ship once we place the order. It would then be a matter of installation. They do have to be mounted to that in the auditorium, and there's some wiring that needs to be done. Then it's just a matter of testing and learning to use the software. At this late date, I don't know that it would be ready for the spring musical, but we would be shooting to at least use some aspect of it for the second period process.
So what's the longevity of the projector? Do you know,
Do you know the warranty? I know.
I believe it's a 3-year warranty on them. They would typically last longer than that. The bulbs on those projectors are usually rated at around 2,000 hours. So obviously it depends on just how frequently they would be used. They should, quote unquote, last for at least 5 to 6 years, I would assume. The most expensive part of those projectors, they're short throw, it's the lenses on them. So again, I would venture to say that the limited amount of use that they would actually get, it's not like we're using them on a daily basis in the auditorium. I would hope to get 10 years like that. Out of the bulb or
Out of the projector. Yeah.
The bulbs are far less than they used to be price-wise. It's the lenses that are the expense.
I guess my other question would be, have we looked at any sponsors? Like we have, out at Mansion, we have sponsors for the scoreboard. Have we dipped into that possibility?
We had reached out and we did get a donation. I don't know if that's official, but we had a $25,000 donation from Mr. Tom Smith in support of this. So yes, we do have some support.
And the rest of the funding was approved as
yeah, it would all come out of the there's a portion of the ESSERs that the board's well aware of, that 4.8 million, which is specific, that has to be spent on instruction, and it would be coming out of that, because we're tying it directly into the curriculum and training kids on how to use it in school, in class.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a
So I guess
software yearly fee for using like a license for the software?
There is software. I'm still exploring that because there are some free options that I think might cover what we need. So I think that we're covered there.
Okay, any other questions for
I
that?
guess my other question would be, do we have a breakdown of our ESSER funds and what all they're being used for.
I think we do, actually. That's,
Okay,
and we can provide that. I mean, we have given you very global breakdowns as to how it's been used, but we have it, we have it pretty much detailed all the way out.
okay.
Okay,
The-
thank you.
The intention of the administration would be to put this on the agenda in February. Okay,
Sounds good.
All right, thank you very
Dan.
much.
Good presentation. Thank you.
we could do it tonight if the board would so choose, but didn't want to strong arm the board into a fast vote.
I'm just saying, quicker we get it, possibly.
That would be a significant amendment to the agenda that you need to have, like a significant time precedent, so you expect that to amend the agenda and include that type of expenditure.
Well, the ability to use it for this year's show would fall into that category, but my thing, I just didn't want to strong arm the board into making a decision about something you just heard about.
I don't, I'm 100% for this. I don't feel strong on it. I don't know, how everyone else feels, but it's.
But I know during my day, technology was coming very much into vogue in the 90s and particularly the 2000s. But I'll never forget a mother coming to me and thanking because she said, my son's very bright, didn't have any interest in coming to school, no reason. But now with this technology you guys have here, he won't miss a day. And I think it's these types of things that create that connectivity with kids and schools that we really need to do more of. And not every kid is going to get into athletics. Not every kid is going to learn to play an instrument, but there are kids that will take off on this right away, and this will be their thing. And I think we just have to offer those opportunities.
Yes, Susan.
I was just exploring the vendor and make sure it applies.
So Dave, you want to add that? So you want to add that to tonight's agenda?
Yeah,
Is that
if there's
possible?
any objection from any board member, naturally, I wouldn't, but I'm
Well,
going to.
we'd have to take, I think, a roll call vote on that item.
There's a motion to amend the agenda to include that. A second discussion also. Then you have the vote on the item itself.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to amend the agenda to include the projection project.
Okay, and is there a second? Is there a second? I will second it. Further discussion?
I'm not prepared to vote on it tonight, so I can abstain if everyone else is in favor of it.
Okay. Okay. Any other discussion? Those in favor respond by saying. Okay, I'm sorry. Right. Now we can vote. Okay, and do we need to do a roll call on this to amend it? Okay, so we'll do a roll call on this.
Dr. Malloy,
Yes.
Mr. Francis, Mr. Hoff, Mr. Greenwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Irwin Adams, Mr. Johnston, Mr. Mignon, I'm sorry, Mrs. McGinnis, Mr. Cook. Passes
5-3.
5-3.
Okay,
yes.
so we'll add that to the agenda. Let's make that item P under education. Let me get the official. What's it called?
Would you like me to read the motion? I mean, the item?
Okay,
Dr. Malloy, I have wording. Do you want me to read it?
yes.
Administration requests approval to purchase 2 auditorium projectors to be used for stage backdrop program mapping. The purchase will be made for the Fine Arts Department and will benefit classroom STEAM curriculum and extracurricular fine arts programming. Funding for the purchase not to exceed $171,679.33 will be provided with ESSER funds and a generous donation from Thomas R. Smith, a graduate and longtime employee of AASD.
And do we need to state that this is this will benefit our spring music programs?
Putnam or CoStar? It's CoStar. I'm sorry, Putnam, sorry. Putnam. Okay. Putnam is the federally approved pre-bidded vendor.
Okay, so that item will be on the agenda for later on. Okay, now we're taking hearing from citizens. Anybody wishing to address the board, please come to the microphone, state your name, whether or not you live in a school district. And before that, we have one other presentation. I missed that one, the School Board of Directors recognition.
I think Dr. Malloy was trying to avoid this. January, as you know, is School Director Recognition Month. And we wanted to take time this year, as we always do, to say thank you. Thank you for your time, thank you for your commitment, and thank you for your dedication to the Altoona Area School District, as well as our students, most importantly. Around this board here tonight, we have represented over 50 years of service. We recognize the time and effort that you put into the decisions that you need to make. We know that those decisions aren't always the easiest, but we respect the position that you take, always putting students first when you're making those decisions. So tonight, you'll see you have a cutting board sitting in front of you. But I want to tell you a little bit about this cutting board. It's not your ordinary cutting board. The cutting boards were made of reclaimed wood sourced from the old high school library bookshelves. Mr. Frank Harpster's advanced robotics class helped to construct the boards, and Mr. David Borst's set construction crew helped finish them. They're made of hard maple and were finished with a cutting board wax made from a blend of 100% beeswax and pure food-grade mineral oil. And you'll see there's a little bag attached. You have an extra little bit of that wax and oil to keep your cutting board fresh. The Mountain Lion logo was laser engraved on the boards from an AutoCAD drawing done by former classes of the Altoona Area High School Mechanical Engineering Design classes taught by Mr. Todd Bennett. So as you can see, these aren't any ordinary cutting board. It's just our way of saying thank you. And I tried to get the kids here to present them to you, but too many of them had too many things going on, things they were studying for and activities they were involved in. So again, thank you for your service. Enjoy the cutting boards and enjoy the rest of the month. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Okay, thank you. Okay, now we'll hear from citizens. Anybody wishing to address the board, please come to the microphone, state your name, whether or not you live in the school district, and you would have 5 minutes to do your presentation. Okay, seeing no one, let's go to the meeting. All right, first would be the resolution of the Board of Directors. Item A, it's the approval of an accelerated opt-out resolution certifying tax rate would be within the inflation index as set by the state. Is there a motion for that item? Is there a second? Stephanie seconds. Discussion?
Quite simply, every year, if we were to choose to seek exceptions, the board would have to approve pursuit of a budget that would seek exceptions. We are not seeking exceptions. Any tax increase proposed will be within the confines of the Act 1 index. And so in order to move forward, either we seek exceptions or we don't seek exceptions. This resolution is that we will not be seeking exceptions. Did I get it right? Cool.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So moved. Okay, finance. We have A, financial reports. B, the list of payments. Do we have a motion on those items? And is there a second? Discussion? Okay, hearing none, those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Policy. We have for the final reading. Okay, there are 4 policies there for the final reading. Do we have a motion on those items? Is there a second? Second, discussion. Okay. Yes, would you clarify, make some clarifications to policy 805.3, please?
The 805.3 is the AASD Police Department firearms policy. We have a complete police department, which is certified by the state. We have 3 officers who are Act 120 certified. That means they have attended the police academy. The purpose of this police department firearms policy and the adjustment with the addition of the patrol rifles is specific to make sure that if there's a situation where they need access to a patrol rifle as a tool, they will be able to access it. At this point in time, the policy lists several items that the officers have access to. They do not necessarily carry those with them at all times. The purpose is so that if there is a situation, heaven forbid, they will have access to what they need equipment-wise to deal with it. Any more explanation needed?
I think that's fine. Any questions or discussion by the board? Okay, hearing none, those in favor of these 4 policies, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion's carried. Education, we have quite a few items. We have A, the revised 2022-23 District Learning Express and Pre-K counts calendars, and the district calendar. B, emergency instructional time to 2022-23 approval. C, Pennsylvania Highlands Community College Agreement. D, Special Education Department Wilson Reading Summer Camp. E, the Safe Schools Targeted Grant for School Police Officer. F, the Safe Schools Targeted Grant for Program and Equipment. G, extended school year for summer of 2023. H, elementary field trips. I, an updated GED schedule. J, affiliation agreement with Kutztown University. K, the pre-K counts flexible instructional time for the 2022-23 school year. M, volunteer approval. N, secondary field trips. O, AAHS 2023 summer school proposal. And P, the amendment to have the projector project in the Altoona Area High School Auditorium, which I do believe we'll need to vote on individually. Does it have a roll call on that, Liz? Since it's... Anybody want to separate that one? Okay. I missed one. Okay. So I missed L, which would be this AAA School Safety Patrol License Agreement. Okay. So we have all those items. Do we have a motion for approval? Is there a second? You're a second for those, quite a few items. Stephanie seconds. Let's have any discussion. Okay, hearing none. Those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Okay. So that's 3 opposition, and then we had your.
I'm proponent of the fine arts and.
Oh, I understand, but actually an abstention is a no vote. I think according to school code, is that right? So, yeah, it goes towards the no votes. Okay, but it is an abstention. Okay. All right, so that item would be a 5-3 item. Okay, so those in favor respond by saying aye. Did we already do that? I got this. Okay, we did that. All right, so we have all those items finished. 8 would be personnel. We only have personnel agenda, and we removed item H. Under item H, the non-instructional absence without pay, items 1 to 4. So we need a motion on the personnel agenda. We have a motion on the personnel agenda? Nope. Is there a second? Ron seconds. Discussion? Hearing no discussion, those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
I'm opposed to GB.
Okay, under personnel. Okay. Okay. Okay, 9, student services. We have one item, the Blair Family Solutions Behavioral Services Agreement. Do we have a motion on that item? Ron has a motion. A second? Kelly seconds. Discussion? Hearing none, those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So moved. 10, business operations. The transfer of funds is A. B, the sousaphone outfit bid. C, a vehicle purchase. D, capital reserve list of payments. E, the capital projects list of payments. F, repository bids. G, the purchase of district vehicles. Do we have a motion on those items? And is there a second? Stephanie seconds. Discussion?
Yes, I went this morning, I went down in the garage and looked at the old truck. I must say the district got their money's worth out of that truck. And the plow, the hydraulics are failing on it, and it pretty much had, so.
So it's a
It's
needed
time for,
purchase, you say.
it's time for another one.
Okay, any other discussion?
Yeah, are these vehicles purchased locally? The one, okay.
I would say Stuckey's is the truck, and so the Stuckey's is the truck, and the other's an RFP, the request for proposals to purchase. It will be purchased. That's our intent.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. New business, we have 2 items. A, the revised 2023 school board meeting schedule. B, the Red Cross external reservation for the AA Junior High School, Altoona Area Junior High School. Do we have a motion on those 2 items? Ron, second. Stephanie seconds. Discussion? That amendment for the school board calendars to add a committee of the whole meeting in December? Yes. Okay. Any other discussion? Those in favor, respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Do we have any committee chair reports?
Just a reminder from the Central Blair Rec that their community classic dinner and auction is coming up on Saturday, February 25th at the Bavarian Hall at 5:30. They're presenting the 2023 Respected Citizen Award to Randy Feathers, and the guest speaker is Greg Lloyd.
That would be a good one.
Saturday, February 25th.
That's the community, what's the name of it?
It's the community classic dinner and auction.
Okay.
And also February 7th is a policy meeting at 10 o'clock in the morning. And I must say the 10 o'clock on February 7th in the administration building. Yes, that's on Tuesday, 10 o'clock. I must say the Park and Rec over the years back, they had Franco Harris here numerous times. I know with his passing, sadly missed, but he was a big show in the Park and Rec for years and years down there. A lot of us got our picture taken with him, so I'd say they had some good people in there.
Okay, board president's report, I have none. Superintendent? Ms. Ventry.
Good evening. I would like to take a moment to mention some current and upcoming events in the Altoona Area School District. Congratulations to all winter athletes and their successes this season. AAHS's new bocce team had their first successful competition this past week. The Altoona Lady Lions won against State College on Friday, and the boys swim team took third place overall at the Clearfield Arctic Classic on Saturday, with the girls getting sixth place overall among many other athletic successes. The Lady Lions game supported the Brian Morden Cancer Foundation and their goal for finding a cure for childhood cancer. A thanks goes out to everyone who attended. Also this past week, representatives from Penn State's men's hockey team donated teddy bears and other plush animals to elementary students as a part of their annual teddy bear toss. 500 bears and stuffed animals were donated to the Learning Express preschool and all AASD elementary schools. Coming later this month on Tuesday, January 24th, will be the Altoona Area Junior High School Concert Band Wind Ensemble Concert, which will begin at 7 p.m. at the junior high school. Also, as a reminder, there will be a teacher in service held next Friday, January 27th. Thank you to everyone who has been involved in the district thus far, and we look forward to continued support in 2023. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good report. Okay, for information only, we have the Technology Committee summary from 12/13/22. Do we have an employee union response? Middle management? Solicitor? Okay, it's all the items on the agenda. Do we have a motion for adjournment?
The only other thing I wanted to mention was, I know we voted on it tonight, and it already happened, but I thought it was really cool that our band went up and played as the Penn State Pep Band at three of the games over winter break?
I know they went up over winter break. It was one that was canceled because of the snow, but other than that.
Okay, I thought that was a great opportunity, and I saw pictures and it looked like they were having a lot of fun, so.
It's a nice little outreach. Great exposure for the kids.
Okay, do we have a motion for adjournment? Second? A second? I'll second it. Those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?